Top of the morning. What's good? It's been a lot of hating going on. The birds is chirping. I seen my little bluebird friend. He or she is so beautiful. Let's normalizing. Let's normalize appreciating nature. It's simple. You see a bird, you say that's a beautiful creation there. You know, it must have been meant for me to go live right now because the birds are flying. Greetings, naturally you. I said, it's a slow morning. You know what I'm talking about? It's a slow morning. You ever seen someone looking at you, but they don't know you're looking at them? Because I just did. That's my daily occurrence. Someone is looking at me that thinks I don't know they're looking at me, but I'm in observation of you all the time because I am His Majesty's glory, apparently. Although sometimes I feel like He doesn't care for me too much. He does. I don't know what I'd be thinking. Grand Rising, Vanglorious. I hope you all have a blissful day. I want to talk about your Uncle Paul. You know, I addressed that in a upload. So for those that don't watch the readings, you are missing out. Because if you see me, they could see you. And his eye is definitely on the sparrow, not the crow. You know what I'm talking about? You might say, either crows are ugly. I beg to differ. Crows are terrifying. You ever just look at a crow and wonder where it comes from? Like, what plane? What plane did this crow come from? I remember I seen something walking through the gated community that I used to dwell in. And I said, what is that? It looked like it could be a turkey without feathers. It's like his feathers got scorched off. And the big G said, that's from a different plane of existence. And I'm thinking, yeah, the sky. But, apparently that was not it. This thing was just walking around the community like it lived there. I go to take a picture because, that's content worthy right there. I back all the way up. I backed that thing up. And it disappeared. It went into a bush or something. It just disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. And I was like, ew. What happened? Could you imagine, Birdman? Could you imagine just walking outside and you see something from a different existence just standing there? You're like, wow, what are you? If you are HE, double hockey stick razor. But if you are the average person, you might close your door after you get inside of it and pray. I'm one of those ones that observe because it's like time stops. Time stops. And I'm just looking at it, trying not to look at me. That's the opposite of the world. But you know, Yom Kippur for an archangel means it's going down. It's not what you believe is the original text, because the original text is it's going down. You know what I'm talking about? In this reading, I addressed somewhat the specs of what takes place during Yom Kippur. Now, depending on your belief, you may believe that it's about fasting, but we beg to differ. You know what I'm talking about? Yom Kippur is celebrated amongst the different variety of nations, not tribes. So depending on your belief system, you'll be aware of what takes place. Now, if you're somebody that is spiritual, like myself, you may say, either it's right on the money, because you could read through scrambled lies. Let's examine Yom Kippur. Yom Isifenesishikiti means Yule. Esafalakitinasishikiti. Kippur means observance. So, you will be in observance. Now, you know the thing about the you world? Well, under Universal Life Force Source instruction, he has different names, you know. I'm cool like that. Depending on how I'm feeling, he could be the big G, not the little one. The G-O-D, Universal Life Force Source, the Great I Am, the Divine Healer, the Doctor, the her, put a law in front of it, in the courtroom. You know what I'm talking about? He can be my driver, my assistant. He's just miraculous like that. He is something else. If you ascend high enough to be able to hear him talk, you will never, ever understand the way he is. And so many have tried after they stopped being upset. I haven't got to that point yet, but hopefully we'll get there soon. Oh, man. I have some readings coming out, but apparently I need a downtime for this energy pull. So those that are waiting for readings, I got you. Well, either needs a downtime. I felt like a ton of bricks getting out of the bed this morning. So that means I was doing some heavy spiritual work. So y'all, just wait on me. I got you. Even if the man magically turns my light off while I am asleep, he'll still get your reading. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's how I am. I produce. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Either tripping. Either it's talking to me. Some of y'all might like that. Oh, what a feeling to feel protected by the divine. Some of you, because of your belief and your distortion, you mistakenly confuse Ba with Baron Samedi and Papa Legba, which is perplexing to me. Those are three different energies. The Samdis are a class. The Barons are a class. Papa Legba is a entity. I don't understand why that is hard to fathom. Because of who I am, I know there's a difference. I've spoke about my escapades with Bon Samdi. They are no joke. They're no joke. When you cross into their spiritual plane of existence, they communicate with you. There is no doubt about it. They will party with you and they will do things to you if they don't like you. They like me, so that's a good thing. You do have to laugh in the face of FEAR anytime you're dealing with any type of Baron or Samdi. If you are weak, if you show signs of any FEAR, they got you. They got you. Because you had no business jumping off into their plane of existence in the first place. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? So, when I ask, does anyone have any questions for me? No one says anything about spirituality. It's always stuff pertaining to their energy. When, first of all, you shouldn't want that public. Because what if I just told you the truth? Then everyone knows you're chaos being. You don't want that. Because it is some that know who you are spiritually and from past lives. Not just I. And they follow proper protocol. You know what I'm talking about? How does Iskina either know about Babalu? Because I was in observance of many of them. Many. I've talked about this. Someone like me, they want to put in a white tent and make a wife. This is why I don't go to them parts of them towns. You know what I'm talking about? It's a hot commodity in other countries. You know? Greetings. The Big G does know that. The Big G does know that, Diva. Oh, man. Here we go. They calling, and I'm not answering. Make that your ringtone. Could you imagine? Listen, anytime my phone rings, it's about business. It's strictly business. There's no texting all night. There's no kikiing. It's all about that money, honey. Anytime I get a notification, it's just been like that for about 8 years. What it is a pilgrimage. You start off saying, I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm getting my life together. And then the next thing you know, your phone doesn't ring. Unless it's about business. You enjoy that. You know what I'm talking about? You enjoy not being bothered by the foolishness. Then you have a moment of silence. That moment being 4 years. And you decide you want to live again. You know, you want someone to talk to. The current energy that I'm in right now is frightening to a lot of people that know me. They say, either really channels archangels. That's what they say about me. And I say, yes, because I'm one. When they start thinking, to become an angel, you have to be no more. They are correct. So when I say things like, I have crossed into different planes of existence multiple times, I have. It's just, I get up. If it had not been for me going through all of that PAIN, I wouldn't be able to do my service here on this planet. When I think about my pilgrimage that took every bit of close to 50 years, but this portion here, this decade, I am in wow. Because the things that took place with me spiritually would have some of y'all on your knees. This type of pilgrimage that I took requires you to be isolated. It's after you realize what you've been sleeping with and talking to where you need a decade of healing. Could you imagine a decade of healing? Kind of like when you get popped. The doctor says, this is going to heal in 7 years. And you're thinking, wow, it take that long for your ligaments and all of that stuff to be restored. And yes, because it not only does something to your physical makeup, it does something to your mind. Anytime anyone gets popped, they're different after that. It's sort of like a circle. If you had not been popped, you don't know. You go through a period where you are defensive, aggressive, upset, and you just don't trust nobody. Especially depending on the circumstances. You just don't want to be around nobody. Life is different. When I got popped, it was the 4th of July. I've talked about this. The 4th of July used to be something vicious for me because you get taken by surprise. Here I'm outside with my family at a barbecue, laughing, joking, and then the next, I'm on the ground. When those bullets flew past my head, I thought someone was throwing firecrackers in my direction. I did speak about this. In the movies, when they slow it down, and you can see that bullet slow down and you hear that. When it goes past your ears, it's something different. You're thinking, wow, if that would have hit me in my head, I wouldn't be here no more. Because the speed of it, the speed is different. When your life changes like that, you're different. There is nothing that no one from that timeline could ever say to me. I was looking at a short. There is no secret I am a Cardi fan for multiple reasons. I did not expect her to say what she said about stillbirth and all of that stuff. And it kind of made me angry a little bit, you know, because she is right on the money. They've done it to me. I'm not sure she knows that. They've done that to me. And you're thinking, how could someone be so vicious to want something to happen to an innocent baby? And it's because they are demonic, not demon. They say things. If you were to encounter a demonic person, not a demon, because that means it's 50-50, you would know it because of the things that they say, their energy, how they feel after they say something that you feel is horrible. Like, why would you say something like that? You can be vibing with someone, you know. Maybe you just witnessed something. Maybe you just been through something and y'all both in that low vibration and you're saying, whatever, yada, 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 sassafras. And then all of a sudden, you looking at them like they crazy. Like, why would you, get out my car type ish. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. If you are publicly saying that you are demon, whether or not if you're with the HE double hockey stick razors, whether or not, and people have viewed my content, they gonna take you serious. It's always the one that can't do ish that feel like if they say that they are one, someone is going to be scared. They don't do that to me. No one gets on my platform, and you may say that it's because my community section is not open, and you're right. But if they are one, they could come up in the chat and put it in the air where it's fair, like them hearts. Because I want to see something real quick. Why have to be a woman? It has always been a woman. It has always been a woman. But because you're not extremely intoxicated, you can understand that I'm a woman, regardless to the voices that you hear. They sit back and they do things like, I'm Satan, I'm Satan, I'm Satan, I'm Satan, I'm Lucifer, I'm Lucifer. And what mic is she using? What mic is she using? We got just check. I could definitely sound like one of them at any given moment if the big G wants me to. But right now, he don't want me to. You know, some things are hard to fathom. Even though it's been presented over and over and over again in the movies, when you meet someone like me, it's hard to fathom. It's like they have bright ideas. Why didn't I think about this before? Why I didn't? Why? Because you're not me. This is not a role. This is not a gimmick. This is my life. If it is scary for you, then that means you're not one of mine. One of mine's, that means they don't have no FEAR on them. They see me as an angel, the pantheon, because that's what I am. When you have FEAR on you, you see things as Isikina. There's no English word to describe, but this one feels. He believes that people will be scared of me while attempting to watch all of the horrific movies he can to try to see if he can mimic one of those voices on the mic and in person, because he secretly wants to be me. He wishes that the new world would talk to him so he could pump fake. If y'all knew the foolishness that goes through some of these individuals' minds, you would say, what the things that they say. There is a group that are dumb. Every time they go outside and they encounter someone that they feel is a prospect, they say, I got me one, because they believe that they're a group of friends. That one that you just met 2 days ago is Asikina. When you got out of that car, she said he cute, but he stank. I'll clean him up. So when you go to call her, tell her that Iinakina Sishikitia said, what's up? When I told you that Jezebel was hooking you up, you had a new boyfriend in a week. He did you a big one. He put a demon in your life since you like demon eggplant. This is stuff that they want. Apparently, if they get this stuff, they'll leave me alone. This is what they say. If I can get a man, I won't bind ether anymore. If you could give me some money, the big T, I'll stop holding ether's platform back. Shakati. This is the stuff that they say. And not just be like, all right, you know, it ain't much that you can say. If the BG is playing in everybody's face, ain't nothing you could do about it. I'm Sabrina Tashi. Things will change. I can feel this way. I've earned my right to be upset with your majesty. But you haven't. So when I say, why is he doing this to me? Apparently he wants me to say it. Because of my nature. I am true through and through. I'm not going to say something that I don't mean. But then, all of a sudden, like the weather, I go into Sobrina Tashi mode, and then it's a goner for you. I'm talking about. This is why they want stars after their name. Because they know it means something. Minds are unwittable. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care what you believe. Oh, man. We are here at 3207. Those of you that are sharing, continue to share. I am not a spectacle. What you're wearing is. That is a spectacle. And someone says, Ethan needs to clear her throat before she goes on live because that's phlegm. That's mucus, what you're talking about, not phlegm. Two different makeups. But either clears her throat, either does everything that she needs to do to prepare herself for this live. Bonnet is intact, okay? And I am saying, you don't know what you're talking about 100% of the time. That is not how the big G created you. That is what you did to yourself. TT. The TT. The TT. The TT. Ooh, you know what I'm talking about? They be over there on one. You would think, like, do you do that and watch YT? Something wrong with him. Shouldn't you be out exploring? Running a mile or something? Walking till you can't stop? Walk, 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 walk. I got me one crew. They feel like when they see any female, that is an investment. They feel like all of their promise is going to come from a female. All of their, let me get $20. You every bit of 38, and you asking females for $20. Ain't none of mine gonna want you. They done learned that lesson a long time ago. You on the wrong channel. You need to be over there in sassafras land. When I heard I got me one, I was rolling spiritually. Because I seen what he had. I'm like, you definitely do. You definitely do got you one. Y'all gonna be passing stuff to each other. It's gonna be stinking. Everything stink. You know what I'm talking about? Make Ether car stink right now, cause I'm the one that be reversing everything. Everything she say on live, I reverse it on her. You think? Now, I don't know why they be playing with me, y'all. These ones is not smart. They're not coming in here for entertainment. They coming in here so they can start talking to each other. All you gotta do is start just. That's how they get to a different plane of existence. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Tweaking. You was a tweaker. I remember somebody said, "Do I do that DSL reverse it, y'all?" Yeah, I said, "What?" I had to, I had to think about it. What would I be like? Boy, if I did the DSL, boy, I wouldn't be on YT. I'd be somewhere in the mist, in the mix of everything. You know what I'm talking about? This is me on a natural. I don't even talk. You know what I'm talking about? Could y'all imagine that? I'm just sitting, and all of a sudden I'm floating. Hey, the air is different up here. Type ish. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't me, bro. I don't know what people be thinking. These are ones that have been watching me for years, for those that want to know why. And because they seen what they feel is my growth and decline, which is funny. They think, you know, in the beginning I was on one. No. My whole career on this platform, I've been sober. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not that type of Esekina. I'm not a high priestess. The thing about these titles and ranks, all of them want to know who's the highest. And it's not seen like that spiritually, because each and every last one of these ranks have a purpose. What this one is thinking is what it did either say she is a omniist. Because guess what? Angels don't have any GS Bullarilla in front of it. It doesn't make sense for an angel. Because we know about reincarnation and incarnation. That's why. So I imagine at some point we've seen every last one of those belief systems at some point. It is good for those that are incarnated and reincarnated because they didn't learn their lesson the first few times. So they need structure. Someone like myself does not need structure. Therein is your answer. That is it.